Coming back to Formula One, I think the main reason was that I never really lost the passion in racing in Formula One, but maybe all the other things around it. But when I did some NASCAR races this year in States, and I was starting to miss more and more the racing side to race against each other, because in a rally you race against the clock really. So that's what I was missing. And then I got a call from certain people in Formula One, and then all sorts of things happened, and then in the end we managed to have a nice conversation with the Lotus-Renault, and then end up to making a deal with them. So I'm very happy with that. Really, I mean, there was two options. It was this team or Williams, and in the end everything worked out with the Lotus-Renault GP as we wanted. So that's really the reason. I mean, I haven't followed the Formula. Last year I didn't follow much at all. This year I've been following a bit more Formula One, and but not really any specific team. And okay, now last race I saw the last 20 laps of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and because I knew that it's gonna happen now, so I watched how the team did. But I mean, before I didn't know anything about that it's gonna happen, and that the deal will happen in Formula One for the next year. So I just watch overall Formula One and see some races, but nothing special really. I think the tires for comparing to 2009 and now coming to the next year, the biggest difference will be the tires probably. The cars, I don't think it's awful lot difference. DRS is a new thing, but it's basically similar one-button thing than it was in the front wing before, and that has disappeared. So now it's the rear wing. So really, the main difference is the tires, I would guess. I don't know if I'm a better or not. I mean, I've been away for a few years. I haven't driven. I haven't even sit in the Formula One car since the last race in 2009. And I mean, it will be interesting to get back in the car. But I'm a few years older now, and nothing else has changed really. Been really nice last few years in the rally. Try to learn it. It's been difficult some days, and it's been easier this year than it was last year, but still it's a very difficult sport. But I'm really looking forward to come back, and at least Formula One is something that I know how everything works, and I've been there for many years. Like when I went to rally, I didn't really know what will happen there. When I went to NASCAR, I had no clue how it will be. So in that way, it should be much easier to come back, and it should be pretty normal. Yeah, the training side, I mean, I've been training all the time for the rally, but of course it's not so physical. It's more the days, it's the whole week that you sit in the car in a rally, and in Formula One it's more physical and more shorter time. So yeah, I started like a month ago to back in the proper training for Formula One. So I mean, the neck is the most difficult thing to get ready, but we still have plenty of time, so it will not be an issue. I mean, like if I think that race is probably I was thinking completely different thing than the racing on those days, but especially in the last race. But I mean, for sure I remember all the braking and how quick everything happens. So comparing to say a rally, you have a slightly more time, but then in a rally you don't have. It doesn't give you a second chance when you make a mistake. You go off. There is no runoff areas, and there's a tree or a big ditch. So in Formula One these days you have a lot of runoff areas, and you can run a bit wide, and it's not such a big deal. You lose a lap in a practice or in qualifying, but in the race you maybe don't even lose a place. So for sure the braking distance, the G-forces, the acceleration, those will come very quickly back. So it's, I mean, just the biggest thing for sure will be to get the neck neck used to it again. But all the rest, I think it takes a while, but it's not a big thing really. I wouldn't come back if I wouldn't be motivated. So there's always a lot of talk about the motivation, and but nobody really knows what I do or what I think apart from myself. So I don't really care what people says. But I enjoy to come back. I wouldn't put my name in a contract if I wouldn't think that I really enjoy it. So it will be interesting and will be exciting to get back.